Do you ever get in trouble with Kitty because of the language that you decided to use Python? Since we hear nowadays everyone is like Rust, Rust, Rust. You just hear that everywhere, right?
So on the contrary, I think using Python is one of Kitty's strengths. So Kitty has a system called kittens, which are like small programs that you can use to customize its behavior and modify its UI and so on. And so these are written in Python, and this feature was easy for me to add because Kitty was already in Python. So the problem that most people have with Python is that it's slow, but that's irrelevant because you drop down to C or some other compiled language, whatever you like, for the performance sensitive parts. So, like for example, in Kitty, the parsing of the text string from the terminal program actually uses SIMD instructions. So that's the use processing multiple amounts of data with a single CPU instruction, so-called vector programming. So I wrote that by hand using a library called SIMD in C. And so when Kitty is parsing data, which is the performance sensitive part, it does this using not even using regular C, but using something called SIMD, which leverages your processor to the maximum for maximum performance and power efficiency. So the Python is not involved at all. Like once all the parsing is done and most of the thing is be converted to characters and styles and whatever else, then at some point Python gets involved and tells the rest of the system where on the window to draw that buffer of characters. But the whole buffer of characters and its management is all happens in C. So the performance aspect is completely irrelevant, and Python gives you a lot of flexibility. It's a great scripting language and the most popular scripting languages in the world. And so you can script Kitty in Python, which is great, and that came for free because the UI is in Python. So like for example, other kernel emulators that are mainly a compiled language, be it Rust or C++ or whatever, they have to bolt on scripting. You have to add a scripting engine and then expose your native APIs to it. Whereas in Kitty, it's naturally there because everything's implemented. The higher level APIs are all in Python already. So your kittens written in Python have access to everything out of the box. I don't have to keep bridging things and exposing things, and
so if I want
it's
to
very efficient.
Create a kitten, if I want to extend Kitty some way, just Python, no gimmicks, just Python, and it would work. Interesting.
It works. So you can't do things like change how Kitty passes input from the program, because that happens in C4. But the whole UI is in Python, so you can that's the part that users mostly care about, right? You don't care about how the deep down the guts of the thing work.
Yeah,
you care about the UI, you care about the experience of using it, customizing it. So that part is in Python, and that's why it's customizable. So I think that worked very well, and so the thing that people have against C is that it's not memory safe, and that's true. It's not memory safe. But if you're a little bit careful and disciplined, that issue can be managed quite well. So, like if you look at Kitty's security history, there have been, I think, 1 or 2 memory-related bugs in almost a decade of history. So, so the thing is, so the main place that memory issues tend to bite people is in the lifetimes of objects or pieces of data. So now you forget to free something or use something after it's freed. So I avoid that in the design of Kitty by mostly tying that into Python's memory management. So all the data structures also have a second identity as Python objects. So the Python runtime manages their lifetimes for me, so I can rely on it to clean it up, do the garbage collection, whatever. But all the actual hot processing happens in C. So using that combination, you get most of the memory safety just by piggybacking on Python's runtime. But you can drop down to absolute speed to the extent of using SIMD instructions or whatever. I mean, C you can do anything. You can even write pure assembly if you want to and embed it in your C. So it doesn't get faster than that. So I think it's an underappreciated but good combination. At least it works for me.
I always wonder. Yeah, I always wonder why I didn't feel Kitty slow, since it's written in Python, but I didn't understand like the heavy lifting and all the power processing is done in C. Because I compared it with Western, which is written in Rust, I think, Ghosty, without Tmux, the three of them, right? Just scrolling up and down, JK, just scrolling up and down. And I was like, but Kitty is Python, and I don't see it slow. I don't feel a difference between the three, to be honest. Kitty, Western, and Ghosty.
There is no user perceptible difference. All modern terminals, are designed with performance in mind. So, like I said, 10 years back when I started Kitty, this was not the case. A lot of our terminals left a lot of performance on the ground. But the new generation of terminals all start out with performance in mind, so they're all pretty performant. I mean, there's not much user perceptible difference. I mean, if you run benchmarks, you can see the difference, but just from day-to-day usage, you don't see any significant.
Yeah, that's what matters. What you see and what you feel. Yeah.